and, you know, sort of out there with product, as Justin Timberlake likes to call it.
Is that what he calls it? But it is product, you know. It feels great to be back. It's very refreshing to be back. I've been away for a while, and re-energized and ready to get the show on the road.
You must have been so frustrated, because I know you're a really creative person. I know you love performing. So just sort of, did you? I'll ask it in two ways, because you know, because of that, you must have been frustrated. Another time must be nice just to have some time to yourself and kind of, as you say, re-energise. So.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually haven't stopped working. I only had last year June off to get married. But you know, even though people haven't seen me on their screens as much, I've been obviously in the studio recording for a year. And prior to that, obviously, I was in America with the girls, so I actually haven't had a holiday as yet, apart from obviously when I went on my honeymoon. So yeah, but it was just nice to have some downtime in that respect and to be away from the hype and the buzz or the fast pace of the music industry. So yeah, it's just nice, you know, coming back with everything's fresh again and new, but you know, I've got this knowledge from before now that I'm bringing with me. So yeah, and I'm taking it all in my stride now, just at my own pace, which is nice.
God, I had you there lying on a lounger for at least 9 months. You know, having your nails painted, being fanned by Harvey, being fed cherries and berries. You know,
sounds great.
In an ideal world.
When I'm about 60, maybe I do that.
Are you quite a workaholic then?
Yeah, I love working. I'm one of these people that has to be constantly doing something, and I get bored quite quickly if I'm sitting at home. If I'm working and I get a day off, I start twiddling my thumbs like, no, I want to go back to work. I want to do something because I love my job. So for me, it's just, I want to work every day. I don't actually need time off at the moment because I've got a lot of energy. So, I'll have time off when I retire.
So was it quite a sad moment when you sort of realised that, you know, it's the right time to leave Mis-Teeq? I mean, I know with the record company and everything.
Yeah, it was a really sad time for us because obviously we was in a situation that was out of our control, and what we achieved together in the 8 years was amazing. And you know, it's one of them things that I have up and down days. Like today I was listening to a compilation CD that a fan had put together of lots of different live shows that we've done, and it brings back all those exciting feelings again, and you know, the buzz, and my hair on my arm stands up, and it's like the memories. And so yeah, I have those days, but what we achieved is just fantastic, and I'll always have it, you know, hold it dear in my heart, you know.
So what's been different about coming out from a solo artist? Because you've obviously got the experience in that, but this really is just like you, and you know, you haven't got your sidekicks with you.
Exactly. So, but yeah, being on your own can be quite scary, you know, because the pressure is on you. But I think even though people just see me, there's a lot of people working, you know, on my project, which is fantastic. So it's a team effort. You know, I might be fronting it, but there's actually a lot of people behind the scenes that are working really hard. So even though the girls aren't there, I've still got a great team of people. But yeah, it's strange. I think when I done my first interview, I was very nervous, you know, because normally I'd expect Sue or Sabrina to chirp in. And you felt more empowered, I think, when there's three of you. But you know what? I'm getting used to it now. I've adapted and I'm adjusting. And, you know, it does have its advantages being on your own because, like I said before, it's like you can take things in your stride and in your own pace, and you can be more creatively free and express yourself more as an individual when you're on your own.
And you don't have to worry about what you wear because you just wear what you want to wear.
Oh, we always wore what we wanted to wear anyway. We was never worried.
You know, like, it can be like if you would decide you were going to wear a really over-the-top top and somebody else is wearing it.
Well, actually, the thing is, Mis-Teeq turned up to the Brits one year, and Sabrina was wearing a lime green Julian McDonald dress, and Sue Elise was wearing a white dress, and I was wearing my stylist's black jacket and a pair of trousers, and we looked so mismatched, but we made it in all the like, oh, Mis-Teeq looked really great at the Brits. It's because we just went comfortable in our own skin and with what we was wearing, and that was the thing about us. We didn't feel we had to coordinate. It was like, yeah, if we was doing a performance at an awards ceremony or something, we'd coordinate, but we didn't feel that pressure like some groups might feel they have to like be matching, you know?
Westlife. Should we wear the white suits or the grey suits?
That's true.
They're lovely boys. They are lovely boys. God, I sound really mean now.
No, but you're right.
But
you're right though.
But it's part of their image.
Yeah, exactly.
How they're pitched.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we said you've obviously got all this amazing experience under your belt, but also, you know, you can see how it can go sort of out of control with like records. How did you choose who you wanted to work with, and to sort of make sure everything was right for you, really?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I chose Polydor Records was just because, Colin Barlow, my A&R, very I had a great meeting with him, and he said to me in the meeting, it's about taking your time. And that's the thing, as an artist, when you sign with a new label, you want to be given the freedom to go away and record an album with no pressure, because that's how the best music evolves, just by in your natural time frame, not having somebody with a whip cracking the whip, trying to get a record made in 2 months. And yes, it was, careful planning in that respect, but at the same time it was a case of just go and experiment. And that's how we played the whole record. And I just experimented with different producers. I came up with some producers I wanted to work with, and so did the label, and we came to an agreement, and we just vibed. And that is, the whole record was just a great vibe, and just a joy to do, because it was just what music should be about, and that is expression and creativity and and having fun, and really, getting yourself locked into that and focused into that moment. And it was a special time. It's probably the best time I've ever had in the studio.
Seems to be some quite strong meaning behind the lyrics in the tracks. I mean, the lead out single's really empowering for women, and that's great to have that positivity.
Yeah.
Is it important for you as well? Because I mean, you're a very, very attractive woman. Have you kind of experienced that sort of negativity in a sense because of the way you look? And girls can be so bitchy.
I think for me, I don't think doesn't matter what you look like. Just women in general can be quite standoffish towards each other and sort of scan each other up and down, and it's on different levels, whether it's in the playground or whether it's in the nightclub, or whether it's your partner's been out there cheating, and the girl normally attacks the man. No, sorry, the girl would normally attack the other woman and not blame the guy. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. I just think in general, women can be quite non-supportive of each other and kind of see each other as like the enemy sometimes. I'm not speaking on behalf of all women, because obviously there's a lot of women that feel how I do, and that is, it's a nicer trait to support people, wish good on them, and to not be bitchy. So I can't speak for every woman, but just from experiences, of what I've seen, and just how I feel sometimes when I've met women and I think that they could be standoffish with myself, or just what I see with my own eyes, really. And a lot of it just comes from insecurity. If you're not feeling good about yourself, you put down other people to almost make yourself feel better. And so it's about just having the security within yourself to know that as you are, you're unique and good enough, and you don't have to be a clone of another woman or look like somebody else to be accepted in life. And it's just about having that self-esteem and then self-assurance. And you can't, if you don't love yourself first, how can anybody else love you?
Going up a word with myself now.
You see?
No, it's true though. If you do love yourself, and then you seem much calmer, and then people like want to approach you. There's nothing more scary than a frantic person. Approaching you, trying to be friends with you, or because that can be or as somebody who's got this dark cloud.
Yeah, I think in life, if the energy that you put out will come back to you. So whether that's good energy or bad energy, at some point it will come back to you. So, to have an easier life, it's just a better thing to do to put out good energy.
Is this something that you kind of picked up as you've grown up, or is this kind of the outlook that you were brought up with within your family?
It's kind of the outlook I've been brought up with, really. I've never been a person that wishes bad on people or doesn't support people. I always look at people and whether it's in the entertainment, whether it's just any working environment, field, school, I just want to see people do well and progress in life, because we're all on a journey, we're all on a path, and it's just about moving forward in life. And so I've always kind of had that outlook, really. Kind of get it from my mum. She's a bit of a hippie.
Because that's what you kind of tapping into it free, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah, free, and exactly. It's like, it was a great song to write because it's just talking about them times in your life where, you've got decisions to make. Should you go this way? Should you go that way? And fundamentally, wherever you are in life is where you're meant to be. And it doesn't matter which door you take, you'll still get to the same point that you're meant to get. You might have to, do you know what I mean? And so I've struggled with decision making in the past, but, you have to just follow your instincts and go with your heart and just listen to yourself, and you'll get there eventually, And that's how I sort of seen the transition from coming from Mis-Teeq into my own, is that it's not like a new chapter, it's just a continuation of what I've always done. People sort of pose the question, why did you want to continue as a solo artist? Well, it's not natural to me to be as artist, whether I'm on my own or in a band. just making music. So that I will always continue to do, whether it's in front of, the world or whether it's in my own bedroom.
In the past, you said that sort of female artists you admired were sort of people like Beyonce and things like that. Is that
They should what? Sorry.
Artists who you admired in the past? You said sort of like Beyonce. Is that something you still admire, or have you kind of moved on and?
Oh God, I still admire Beyonce hugely. For me, she's the #1 female solo artist in the world, and a global superstar. I look up to her. She's come out of a band. Obviously, she's shown that, you can go solo and be successful. But for me, it's just Beyonce's spirit that I really like. And a lot of people, I've met Beyonce and she's a lovely girl. And everybody that I've met that's worked with her hasn't got a bad word to say about her, because she gives off she's got a nice aura about her. And I think that's what I like about her, her spirit. You can see she's very humble. She's at the top of her game, and you can see she's a really down-to-earth, genuine girl. And that's what makes people like her and warm to her.
And you believe in her as well when she says what she said. I mean, I spoke to her when she said she wants an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony. She's got the Grammy. I was just like, okay.
You've got to set yourself.
An ambition.
You've got to set yourself. Do you know how I see it? It's like you've got to think big. Because there's no harm in throwing out the dream and throwing out the idea or the ambition, because all you can do is try your best. It's almost like, you can almost what she's doing is creating her own destiny that way. She's visualising where she wants to be, and it's given her something to aspire to, and that's a good way to be.
We're not very good at that in Britain, though, are we? If someone is very ambitious, it's seen almost as like being a negative.
Do you think?
I do. I think that you especially with artists. If somebody came and spoke, you interview someone like Usher, and such, as you say, self-belief, and all of those American artists. Look at someone like 50.
Right.
I said to him, sort of, you seem to have your finger in a lot of pies. You tell me, how your business works. About half an hour later, he was still talking about, and then I've got my vodka, and then I've got my water, and then I've got my DVD, and then I've got this. Oh, and then I'm working on da-da-da-da-da. And it's like...
endorsements.
But it's also... It's that kind of ambition and that kind of...
Sure.
It is...
Depends what your ambition is. 50 Cent, obviously he wants to endorse his name, and he wants kids or, people to buy into him. Depends what you want. For me personally, it's like I'm not really motivated by that kind of thing. What motivates me is to go on a world tour. That if you want to ask me what my dream is, it would be to do a world tour, take my band on the road and perform live, because that's my job. My job is to be a performer and an artist, not to kind of be posing on a Coke can or something. But I'm a human. If something was offered to me that was fantastic, I would be interested, I would look at it, but it's not something that I am ambitious about, like I want to endorse my name. One day I would love to, one thing I did say I would love to do one day is a sports line, just for the fact that it could be a way of encouraging younger people to exercise more and have a healthier lifestyle. So I'd like to do something that's got, a positive outcome, rather than just for the sake of having my name attached to a piece of clothing. I'd want to do something that's worthwhile out of it, that can make a difference. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, well, that's to say. They say that obesity is going to be the biggest killer. It's
right.
Obesity and diabetes, and people don't look after themselves. Are you quite bodily aware? Do you look after yourself?
Yeah, before I got into the music industry, I wanted to be a physical education teacher. So, yeah, I've always been quite sporty. I just enjoy sport. I don't see it as a chore, so going out for a run, I enjoy. So, yeah, and I always just try and encourage people to exercise and change the way they sort of think about it. I think a lot of people exercise to lose weight, whereas I always say to people, just exercise to be healthy and have, good blood circulation and a healthy heart, and sort of look at it internally rather than sort of from an exterior point of view. And yeah, just to everything, and keep chopping, changing. Like one day you go running, go swimming, yoga, so you don't get bored, because a lot of people get bored when they go to the gym, because it can be boring. So you got to chop and change.
Plus it's really good therapy. It gets the anger and stress out.
It's a great release. And do you know what? Always say my best beauty tip is go for a run and then have a steam room. You get rosy cheeks and it's cheap. And you don't have to spend any money on all these makeup products. We do love a good makeup product, but if you want a natural glow, I swear, just go for a run, have a steam room, and you get lovely rosy cheeks for free. Some good old water.
Yeah, drink as much water as you can.
I always feel my best though when I come out of the gym. I always feel really healthy and really good. And don't they say that? What is it from Legally Blonde that happy people that exercise are happy people because it releases all these good? Is it endorphins? You see.
True. It's absolutely true. That and sex.
Well, it's a form of exercise. Oh dear.
I'll work on that one. So I mean, if you manage to keep in touch with all all your pals in the music world and
do you know what? I never really had any what I would call friends in the music industry anyway. Like not close friends. I always had associates. Like obviously when Mis-Teeq was on the road, you had a lot of the pop groups like your Blues and Sugar Babes and Liberty X's, and we got on with all of them. We used to have such a good time. But obviously, I've grown up in Hertfordshire, Welwyn Garden City, and my close friends are still the same set of close friends that I've always had. But yeah, there's a lot. It's really nice actually being back and going around and seeing people again. Like I haven't seen you for 5 years, I haven't seen you for 2 years, and it is nice to catch up with people. Yeah.
being a missus now as well.
Being a missus, yeah.
How's that working out?
Working out great, yeah. I do feel kind of old now, but apart from that, it's wonderful. He can't cook, but can't cook, won't cook, right? I need to get him on that programme. But he can hoover. So it's a start. And he can make a bed and he can do washing. So he's very domesticated in that respect. But in terms of cooking, the most he'll do is a pasta dish. That's about as far as it goes, really.
Is it nice to have someone at home you can bounce off, sort of your creativity?
Yeah, it is nice. And obviously, he's honest with me. So if I bring home, material that he doesn't think's that great, he'll tell me. And vice versa. And you need that honesty. I would never like to be married to somebody that just tells me something they think I want to hear. I'd rather somebody that can just be straight with me, and he's straight. And we've got a great balance. And it's just nice to have that support system. And he's been there from the beginning, and we feel more like a unit now.
Being in a celebrity couple must have its own pressures though. I mean, how do you seem to have managed to sort of step back from the spotlight and keep your relationship quite...
Yeah. I mean, for us, obviously, we don't see ourselves as a celebrity couple. Obviously, that's a label that's put on us, but we're just a normal couple as far as we're concerned. And yeah, we have been quite conscious of, not selling stories on ourselves, or obviously we got married, we didn't want to do any magazine deals and stuff like that because it's important to us, it's our personal life, and we don't really read into it too much. We don't talk about it a lot. We just get on with our lives. If something comes in and it's offered to the pair of us, we normally go, no, it's all right. If somebody asks us to do an interview together or something, we normally say no, because we're not interested in selling ourselves as a couple, but we're not shying away from the fact that we're happily married either.
Can I have one? Get me
They're not always great.
Yeah, that's true. You used to see some of my friends' husbands. I'm like, I want to go there. Oh, it's lovely to catch up with you again.
Thank you.
So do you know what the next single's going to be?
Yeah, the next single's going to be called Knockdown. And I actually recorded it down in Kent with Brian Higgins, who's worked with Girls Aloud and Sugar Babes. And when my record company approached me about it, I was a bit nervous about that, because obviously, as much as I love Girls Aloud and Sugar Babes, I wasn't sure if that was the musical direction for me. And what was really nice was when I got there, met Brian, he gave me this reggae backing track, and I was like, and I had to put my hands up. I said, I wasn't expecting that from you, because obviously you do do out and out pop music. And a lot of people that I've played Knockdown to, and then I tell them that it's the same producer, say, behind Girls Aloud, they're like, huh? And that shows a real quality in a producer and his diversity, that he can do a Girls Aloud record, but then he can do a reggae record for me. I mean, it shows great skill. So yeah, it's a great track. Really excited about it, and I'm sure everybody will like this one.
Because the influences on your album are quite eclectic, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you describe it to somebody who's not heard it?
For someone who's not heard it, it is a ball of energy. It's called Fired Up, and it involves reggae, funk, soul and pop. And it really is a musical journey of my personality. Obviously my father's Jamaican, so I've got the reggae vibe. My mum brought me up on Terence Trent D'Arby and James Brown, so I've got the whole funk element. So rather than doing R&B, which for me in this country would just be the wrong way to go for me, I'm taking it back to the old school, the days of funk when it was about the raw musical energy. And then obviously I've grown up in England with British pop culture, so I've got a heavy pop influence on there, and it's just a really great mix and a very lively up-tempo album, and it's definitely an album that will energise you.
So people are going to be playing in the car, in the gym,
Car, gym, club, getting ready, barbecue, yeah, all occasions. Except if you want to chill out, I don't know. Actually, Knockdown's quite chilled, and A Little Bit of Love's quite chilled. But there's no out-and-out ballads that would make you fall asleep. I did not want people to fall asleep while listening to my record.
It's not kind of a Jimmy Fox.
No, well, you could make love to it. I mean, there is a song on there called A Little Bit of Love, which kind of encourages couples to like stick it out through the hard times and make it work and don't give up so easily. It's kind of a lover's one. And obviously Fired Up and Hypnotic are quite teasing kind of records, very flirtatious. So there are some tracks on there that could spark some love between people.
Make love and get fit too.
Make love and get fit too. That is a good slogan. I'm going to use that if I do a sports line. Make love and get fit too. That is wicked. Write that down.
Thanks, darling. Can I get you to do an ident?
Yeah.
And it's hi, I'm Alesha, and you're watching Entertainment Now.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alesha, and you're watching Entertainment Now.
Perfect.
Oh.
Lovely. Yeah, good thing.
Thank you.
Make love and get fit too.
Make love and get
That
fit
is a
too.
great slogan. I love it.